In this evening's program, is John Kerry the new face of the Democratic Party? A public hanging for Saddam Hussein, a blockbuster 4.4% unemployment rate. This is why the race is tightening, and the Republicans are trying to make this the greatest story never told. To discuss and dissect and carve up is Leslie Marshall, nationally syndicated radio talk show host, and Terry Jeffrey, editor of Human Events. We also have Jared Bernstein, senior economist at the Economic Policy Institute and author of All Together Now, Common Sense for a Fair Economy. And finally, Don Luskin, chief investment officer at Trend Macro. As an investor, as an investment manager, as an investment advisor, you've heard the two sides of this race. Today, stocks up very strong, I think on the strength of the better polls. Last week, stocks down every day, I think on the strength of lousy polls. Right. What are you learning from these pundits and this whole polling game?
Well, I think we're getting down into the margin of error where we're talking about the Democrats winning the House by something like 3-4 seats, a number so small that it could still break in favor of the GOP.
So that would be, let's calculate, 18 to 19 seats for the Dems. So they carry it by 3 or 4. That's really kind of a defeat for the Dems, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. They're busy backpedaling left and right, because if this is a tsunami, you know, this is nothing. Let me tell you the joke that I'm hearing from my investment manager clients today. The joke is, what's the difference between John Kerry and Saddam Hussein? So John Kerry hangs himself.
Whoa! Whoa!
And that is going to make all the difference tomorrow. And if it ends up being hang on there by the Republicans, that is so good for stocks.
So good for stocks. Jared Bernstein, I got to give you a shot to respond to Mr. Luskin's discussion of the difference between John McCain and Saddam Hussein. I wish I had thought of that line myself, Jared.
Look, I'd rather listen to John Kerry do a half hour of stand-up comedy than listen to Don Luskin's election analysis right about now.
You're going to have a lot of conservative blue dog Democrats, many of whom they're pro-faith, they're pro-life, they're pro-business, they're anti-regulation.
They're pro-tax cuts.
They're pro-tax cuts. Now, they're likely to be closer to George Bush than Nancy Pelosi. That's why I'm suspicious of the significance of a small margin. Again, if it were 15, 18, 20, even 22 seats, how will the stock market react to it?
The stock market has been bracing for a worst-case scenario where you lose the House to the Democrats, so maybe no really bad thing is going to happen, but no good thing is going to happen. If the Republicans can hang on to the House or lose it, but with some pro-growth Democrats who will vote for a pro-growth agenda, now the stock market can actually have something to look forward to. It won't be just a not bad scenario. It'll be a good scenario.
Thank you. When you fail at the position you've had, when you fail at the position...
Go ahead, Donald Luskin.
If Nancy Pelosi is such a centrist and has such a popular message that markets are going to love, why has she exiled herself to San Francisco for the last 2 weeks and dropped out of public view?
Wait a minute. She was on Kudlow & Company for 16 and a half minutes.
Kudlow, back me up here.
Jared Bernstein, I must say, when she was on this program, she delivered a moderate message. She said balanced budgets, pay as you go, tax hikes only as a last resort. She herself is a stock market investor. And by the way, Don Luskin, she told me she was long the stock market.
Larry loves Nancy. You heard it right there.
God bless her. And I'll bet John Kerry and his rich wife are long the stock market.
But Don Luskin, I think
wait,
Ms.
Larry,
Marshall,
can I say one more thing, being a woman?
Marshall was referring
can I say
to
one more thing,
you.
being a woman,
Leslie,
regarding
please,
women?
we got to give equal time. Don Luskin, she was talking about your forecast of a minuscule, infinitesimal, tiny Democratic win in the House. You want to respond to that, please?
Yeah, I hear Leslie lowering the bar because she knows this isn't going to be the sweep that everyone was bragging about 2 weeks ago.
I don't want a sweep.
Leslie,
Leslie,
you need to be quiet for a second. Let me finish. The Democratic Party has been talking about a perfect storm. And if you can't sink the GOP with a perfect storm, you can't sink it. And if all you can get is a 3-man majority in the House, then hopefully no one has to get up and go to the bathroom, or the Republicans are going to pass tax cuts.
Let me go to say, in defense of Leslie's point, suppose you have a 3-to-5 majority in the House, plus a couple vote Democratic majority in the Senate alongside. Would that change your stock market optimism?
Yes, it absolutely would, and that looks like what's setting up to happen, because this isn't about Democrats versus Republicans. This is about anti-growth versus pro-growth. And if we get enough pro-growth Democrats to come in, then we have a pro-growth majority, even if we have a Democratic majority.